Today I'm going to explain the movie called Paramedics from 2016. This movie has such an interesting ending. At the beginning of the movie, we saw two brothers named Corey and Jeffrey, and both of them were paramedics. They had the hospital's phone tracked. Therefore, if any patient called on the hospital's phone, they could hear it. After that, a woman called, and she said that her hand had broken. After hearing this, they went to the house of that woman with their ambulance. Reaching her home, they put her in the ambulance. In the next scene, we saw that Jeffrey gave her anesthesia through an oxygen pipe. After that, they took her to their lab, and they cut her belly and pulled out all the organs from her body, and they sold those organs for money. From this scene, we realized that they're not from the hospital. They were just kidnappers. They kidnap people and then sell their organs. In the next scene, we saw that Jeffrey used that lady's phone and posted on social media that she was going somewhere very far, and she will never come back. Corey came there and told him to think of something else. They've been doing this for the past 3 weeks, and they had earned so much money from the business. Corey told Jeffrey that he loved him a lot, and he will never leave him. After that, we saw a girl named Cindy. She was hiking with her friends, but suddenly, she bumped onto a rock and her leg broke. She called the hospital, and Carrie and Jeffrey came there. Corey told them that only the patient would be allowed in the ambulance, and her friends will have to wait here for her. So Cindy got in the ambulance with them, and Jeffrey gave her anesthesia. She fainted. Jeffrey touched her head as if he knew her. In the next scene, we saw them in their lab with Cindy. They put her on the bed, and they were about to pull out her organs. But while Jeffrey was about to cut her belly, he told Corey that he couldn't do this. This was the first time Jeffrey was so tense about killing someone. Corey told him to do it later, and then Corey left the room, and we saw that Jeffrey once again rubbed her head as if he knew her. After some time, Cindy woke up and discovered herself in the locked room. She was totally naked. She looked at the camera and asked them to let her go, but no one heard her. And then she wore the clothes of other victims and lay down on the floor. She started crying because she was feeling pain in her leg. The next day, Corey brought food for Cindy, but Cindy threw away the food. Corey tries to do something terrible with her in the next scene, but Cindy kicks him to defend herself. After that, Corey told her that she would have to pay for this. At night, when Cindy was sleeping, we saw that Corey came into the room and he forcefully had sex with her. Cindy felt so much pain since this was her first time and she was being forced. The next morning, Jeffrey was cleaning the blood from Cindy's body, but suddenly Cindy woke up and pushed him away with her feet. She asked him, "Are you here to rape me as well?" Jeffrey said, "No, I came here and brought some food for you." Cindy didn't listen to him and told him to go away, but after he went away, she ate the food. Corey was laughing at her because he was enjoying it. After some time, both of them went to Cindy and told her that they had come here to fix her broken leg, but Cindy didn't listen to him. Then Corey said to her that if she didn't listen to her, then he would kill her. Corey told her that he had brought a special shoe for her feet so that she can get well soon. Corey went to put the shoe on her leg, but then intentionally broke her leg even more, so that she could not run away from there. Cindy was screaming in pain, but then Corey showed her morphine and told her that if she wanted it, then she would have to listen to him. Cindy agreed with him, and Corey gave her morphine, but actually it was not morphine. It was a kind of anesthesia. After taking the drug, Cindy fainted, and after that, Corey raped her again. After some time, Cindy woke up and asked Corey how long he would do this to her. Corey told her that until he gets satisfied, he'll keep doing it. But Cindy told him that he could do whatever he wants to do, but please, don't give me anesthesia anymore. Corey promised her that he will never tranquilize her. In the next scene, we saw that Jeffrey was looking at a photo at night. A girl was with them in that photo, and she looked like Cindy, and he was crying while looking at the photo. When Corey saw him crying, he came to him and managed his emotion, and told him not to think about her anymore. But still, Jeffrey went back to his room and looked at the photo and became sad. The next day, we saw that Corey brought snacks for Cindy, and Cindy asked him how long she needs to stay here. Corey replied that whenever he gets satisfied, he will kill her. Cindy told him that he must have become a psycho because of some kind of trauma, and that's why he's been killing the innocents. After hearing this, Corey told her that he is a devil, and so many people are getting to live on this earth because of him, because he is saving someone else after taking someone else's organs. Cindy asked him if he wants to rape her today. Corey said, "No, I'm not in the mood today." And after some time, when Cindy was changing her clothes, Jeffrey came there and brought some food for her. He turned back after seeing her naked, but Cindy told him to look at her. Jeffrey went closer to her, and Cindy touched him. Cindy took a little bit of chocolate in her finger and ate it in a sexy way. Jeffrey was feeling so good after seeing it. but when Cindy touched his dick, he ran away from the room. After seeing this, Corey realized that Cindy was trying to seduce Jeffrey so that she can run away from there, but he wanted to see if his brother stays on his side or changes his side, and that's why he didn't tell him anything. In the next scene, we saw that at night, Corey went to Cindy once again and had sex with her. Her body was unclean after having sex. That's why Jeffrey went there to clean her body. But when he went there, Cindy took off her clothes and told him to clean her body. Jeffrey touched her body and suddenly, Cindy kissed him. Jeffrey was feeling so strange, and that's why he ran away from the room. Corey was shocked after seeing this, since Cindy was doing everything to get Jeffrey on her side. After that, Cindy stood in front of the camera and said, "I know you can see me." Jeffrey went to his room, and now he was falling in love with Cindy. The next morning, Jeffrey was making some good breakfast for Cindy. Corey got so angry after seeing this. Corey told him that he was going to interrogate her so that he can cut her body and sell her organs. Jeffrey was feeling bad after hearing this, but he could not go against his brother, because there was no one in his life except for Corey. Corey went to Cindy and asked her some medical questions, but Cindy didn't answer him at all. Corey threatened her that if she does not answer the questions, then he will break her other leg. Cindy got scared after hearing this and answered all of his questions. After that, Cindy talked to him about her life, and Corey felt bad about it. He told her that from now on, he will torture her even more. He was about to torture her, but Cindy hugged him and kissed him. Corey couldn't tolerate it and went out of the room. In the next scene, we saw that Jeffrey came inside the room, and Cindy told him to lay down beside him. Cindy told him that he behaved so well with her, unlike his brother, and he has all the qualities of a good guy in him. After saying this, Cindy kissed him, and they got intimate. Corey was watching this, and he realized that his brother was slowly turning towards Cindy. Cindy asked Jeffrey why they kept her alive, and then Jeffrey showed her the photo, and told her, "She was our sister, and you look exactly like her." After their parents died, all of them stayed together, and they also slept together. But after they went to college, Corey started to bring other girls in the house, and as a result, their sister was feeling jealous and sad. Therefore, slowly she became sick. After some time, she could not tolerate this anymore and died. Jeffrey told Cindy that he thinks his brother is responsible for his sister's death, and they decided to run away from there. Cindy realized that since her face was identical with their sister's face, they didn't kill her. After that, when Jeffrey was going outside, Corey told him that Cindy is trying to seduce you, but Jeffrey didn't listen to his brother, and he shouted at him and said that he let his sister die once, and that was because of him, but this time he will not let it happen. Jeffrey was so angry that he was hurting himself. Corey tried to convince him and told him that he loves him so much, and no one can ever love him more than Corey. At night, Jeffrey had sex with Cindy once again, and Cindy told him that Jeffrey is better in bed than his brother, and she loves to have sex with Jeffrey, because he is smarter than his brother, and any girl would love to have him. After hearing this, Jeffrey told her that now they will run away from this place, so that Corey can never find them. Corey heard all of this and became upset, because he realized that Cindy had seduced his brother, and he's on her side now, and he was ready to do anything for her. In the next scene, we saw that Corey called him to go to work, and when they came back, they brought another man with them to take out his organs from his body. Corey hanged Cindy with a rope, and told her that now she will watch a live show. Cindy told him not to do this, but he didn't listen to her, and they took out the organs of the boy in front of Cindy. Cindy became unconscious after seeing this, because it was the first time she saw an operation. Corey told her that she had made a big mistake. From now on, he will show her butchering every day. After that, Corey told Jeffrey that he wants to eat something good tonight, and that's why he sent him outside to bring some food. Jeffrey went outside, and Corey came to Cindy. He told her that enough is enough. He also told her that she's using her face in private parts to seduce his brother, and that's why he will seal her face and private parts shut. He also told her that their sister didn't die from any disease. Actually, he killed her with his own hands by poisoning her. He did this because he found out that his sister and Jeffrey were planning to leave him. Cindy was shocked after hearing this. Corey filled the room with tranquilizer, and Cindy became unconscious. After that, Corey stitched her mouth and her private part, and sealed it, so that she could never talk or have sex. Jeffrey came back and got angry after seeing Cindy in that situation, but Corey told him that he had done the right thing, because this girl was trying to seduce him. Jeffrey didn't listen to him and hit his head on the table, and he became unconscious as well. After that, Cindy woke up, and she hit Jeffrey with the oxygen tank, and as a result, he also became unconscious. Cindy ran away from the room. After some time, both of them woke up, and Corey was trying to convince his brother and told him that the girl was not worthy of your trust, but still, Jeffrey trusted her. In the next scene, we saw the scene from 1 year later. A woman called them to help her, but when they went to her with their ambulance, the woman attacked them. They noticed that they were actually Cindy and her friend, and they had kidnapped the two brothers. She took them to their operation room and tied them in the bed and ceiling. When Corey woke up, he discovered himself tied to the bed. He felt so sad about it. He told Cindy to let his brother go. It was all his mistake, but Cindy didn't listen to him and told him that she would show his brother how she pulls out all of the organs from his body. But Corey kept requesting her to let his brother go, but Jeffrey told her that he loved her, and why is she doing this to him? Cindy stabbed him in his chest and told him that she never loved him. And then Cindy saw that the delivery guy came there to receive the organs. When Cindy came out and talked to the guy, he told her that if you can give me organs, I'll give you a lot of money in exchange. Cindy told him to wait for 5 minutes. She'll be back with the organs. And we saw that Cindy went inside the room and cut the body of Corey and sold his organs to that guy.